Hey guys, what's going on? Retire on dividends. Um, Making a unusual weekend video. I had a chance to run some numbers on my spreadsheet, so I figured why the hell not? So Yieldmax. There's a lot of Yieldmax funds now, but unfortunately, although they pay monthly, it feels like forever, till these new funds come out. So you don't even know like what their dividend's going to be, what their distribution's going to be. So I'm trying to give some, a little clarity on that, a little idea of what to expect. So I made a little spreadsheet. As you can see, the top four are the funds already paying out dividends. You can see the current price, the last dividend, the current yield, and then I have low and high yield. Again, that's based on the current dividend from the low or the high for 52 weeks. So obviously, like if you bought in Tesla at 12.53 and that was your average, currently you're sitting at an 80% yield, which is insane. OARC, not that bad. If you bought in at the lowest, you'd be sitting at 60% yield. And these are my goals, by the way. Obviously I can't own them at the lowest, but I'm going to try to own them towards the 52 week low, so that my yield on cost is higher than the current yield. I also added some columns: current IV percentage, historical IV percentage, and then I created a factor: current factor and historical factor, and that's what I'll go through real quick. IV is implied volatility. In case you don't know, it basically it's a percentage based on how much the stock trades, when the market's open. The higher the IV, the more volatile, which means the greater the options premium can be, which means the greater your yield on these funds can be. So to calculate what the other funds can be, I made a factor. So I did, what the hell did I do? I think I did current yield divided by current IV, and then I did current yield divided by historical IV. And then I ran the numbers for both. Most of them, the top two came around 1.5, others are lower, others are higher, obviously, as you can see. So anyway, I took the average on current and historical, and I dragged that down below for all the funds that did not pay a distribution yet. So what did I do then? I got the information on the tickers for all of the new ETFs: Coney, Nefli, AMZI, Phoebe, GUI, MSFO, and DISO. We got some crazy names. So long story short, to keep it simple, I took the current IV, I multiplied it by the current factor, and that's it. So current IV on Coney is 67%, which is pretty volatile, more volatile than Tesla. I multiplied that by the average factor, 1.39, and I'm coming up with a current yield of 93%. And in my previous video, the current IV was a little higher, and my current yield came to about 110%. So maybe at the time I ran those numbers, for whatever reason, Coinbase was more volatile. I'm not sure why, but regardless, Coinbase's historical volatility is even lower. So if I take that number and I multiply it by the historical factor average, I get a yield of 69%, which is more in line with Tesla, which, we can't complain about, but obviously 93% would be much better. Going down the line, this is not in any order, but Nefli, current IV 33%, historical IV 42%. So you're looking at a yield on that anywhere from 47 to 57%. AMZI, current IV 28%, historical IV 33%. So you're looking at a current yield I'm sorry, a yield from 39 to 45%. And I'll just quickly go down the rest. Phoebe, Facebook, 48 to 45% yield. GUI, which is Google, 38 to 35%. Microsoft, MSFO, 34 to 33%. And Disney, DISO, 36 to 38%. So that's it. Just so you guys know, this is a rough estimate. I have no idea what the yield will come to be. And this is just based on premium, of course. These funds also have investments in treasuries where they earn additional interest. So if anything, the yield should be much higher. Not much higher, but slightly higher. That's it. Quick and short, so short and sweet, I should say, video. But I think a lot of you will enjoy this. But let me know what you think of my calculation, if you think it's accurate or not. And also, if you do think it's accurate, based on that, what funds are you buying? Obviously, Coney looks attractive, but Coinbase is very volatile. You never know with crypto. And then, second best coming down the line is, well, it could be like a tie, Netflix and Facebook. So, I feel good about Netflix, Facebook, okay. There's a lot of good funds and distributions coming. So I own all of them except Disney, and I'll probably own a lot more that come. So I'll keep this spreadsheet going as more funds come out, and I'll continue to make these videos based on the calculation. If you enjoyed this video, please click like. If you have a comment, question, please leave it down below. And if you enjoy my channel, if you don't mind sharing it, I'm actually getting a little closer to 1,000 subs. So if you do share it, very, very much appreciated. All right, guys, have a good one. Have a good weekend.